Hi team, so in this short masterclass, I'm going to talk you through 4 steps that you can take to kill a scarcity mindset. You know, a scarcity mindset is a place that so many entrepreneurs, high performers, and business owners operate from. And what they're not aware of is that it's subconsciously killing so much of the success and progress that you could potentially make within your business for a number of reasons, okay? What is a scarcity mindset? I think is the first important part to actually address. It's a fear. It's a fear of not having enough money. It's a fear of going broke. It's a fear of everything coming crumbling down. And as a result of scarcity, there's typical thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that you will see showing up in your day-to-day life that you might not be fully aware of. You know, a few years ago, I remember working with a client and his business was going through a slow period whenever he initially worked with us. And we looked at some of his daily behaviors. And believe it or not, during a period when he was making no sales, he had a habit of going in and looking at his bank account numerous times a day. He would consistently go into the app on the phone. It was in fact one of the most used apps on the phone. That whenever he scrolled down to the drop screen, it was one of the first apps that showed up. And even though he knew that he wasn't making sales within his business, it's like he consistently went back into this app to almost prove to himself that the business wasn't moving forward, to prove to himself that everything was going to come crumbling down. And as a result, he had a big scarcity mindset. So his thoughts, his feelings, and his actions were very much aligned with someone that was going to go backwards. It was going to come crumbling down as opposed to moving forwards. The reason being, okay, is one of the most powerful forces within the human psyche is to act in line with who we believe ourselves to be. So if I act like a person who has a fear of losing my business, then that's most likely to happen. You can almost assume that reality will put into your path who you're being in that moment. So if you're acting from a place of scarcity, if you're acting from a place of fear, desperation, that's the physical reality that you are going to see showing up in your life. And we're going to talk you through exactly how you can start to break away from that scarcity mindset and see massive, massive significance within your business. My name is Martin Brady. I'm a mental performance coach. I'm best known for writing my own book, Change Your Jacket, Methods from Military Sniper and Performance Coach on how to shift your mindset. Together with my wife, Roseanne Brady, who is a rapid transformational therapist, which is a combination of CBT, NLP, hypnotherapy, and neuroscience, we help business owners and high performers to completely recondition the mentality that they're operating from to see huge success within their business. We've taken people from jobs they hated to creating 6-figure businesses. Numerous people to do that. We've helped people to set up their own gyms. We've helped people to take their businesses from as little as 2 to 3K per month, right up to 10, 20K per month. We've helped people to develop the mentality, go from 6 figures to 7 figures. Okay, and one of the things that we work on with most of our clients is their mindset around money, and that's what we're going to get into in this very, very, very short masterclass, okay? So, first and foremost, there's an important area that every single one of us have to address is our beliefs around money. We all have beliefs around money. Money is energy. Money is a form of energy that we have a very strong relationship with or weak relationship with, but it's the one area with our lives where every single person will be very aware every single day of how your relationship is around money, how your beliefs are around money, because most decisions that we do factor into our day-to-day life, it comes down to our beliefs around money. You know, you decide how you're going to dress because of your beliefs around money. You decide where you eat, what kind of car you drive, where you live, what jewelry you buy, you know, what presents that you buy people, the things that you buy for yourself, what you would classify as a treat, the hotels that you stay in, where you go on a holiday. All of these different decisions are driven from our beliefs around money, okay? Now, a belief is a combination of habits and decisions, okay, that drives so much of our actions. It's like a story that we tell ourselves. And it's really, really important to get to the root cause of where a lot of our beliefs actually come from. You know, a lot of people will have beliefs that, you know, I'm not very good with money, or money always just seems to slip through my fingers. There's never enough money. No matter how much I make, I always seem to lose it. You know, one of my clients, he shared with me a number of months ago, I helped him make a big breakthrough with his mindset around money. And when we actually looked at one of his most dominant thoughts around money, he said, I always feel that I'm chasing money, okay? Feel that I'm chasing money. When I asked, how do you actually feel? He said, I clam up. I feel really tight. Okay, so when you say I clam up and I feel really, really, really tight, then money is scarce. So you go in to buy a coffee and you're like, oh Jesus, can I really afford to get the more expensive coffee, you know, and then people come into these situations in their life where it's a difference between spending an extra 25 cents, even though you could have money in the bank, but part of your subconscious mind says don't do it because you're going to go broke. That's because of the attitude towards money, the beliefs towards money, which is what we're going to get into here, okay? So let's do a little bit of revision. If you followed a lot of our work, you'll see that we teach people how to reprogram their subconscious mind, and this is bread and butter to us. We do this stuff every single day. I spoke in an event last week, and I went and I was fully prepared for what I was going to speak about on the day. But I said, guys, what would you like to cover on the day? Because this is our bread and butter. You know, on average, we do 4 to 5 sessions every single day where we're helping people to rapidly shift and change the behaviors that they have that are all driven from their subconscious thinking, okay? So if we draw a picture of the mind, okay? So this circle here is going to represent our mind, our mindset. And this smaller circle below here is going to represent our physical body, okay? So I'm going to write P for physical body. And our mindset is broken into 2 parts, okay? We have our conscious mind and we have our subconscious mind. Now, our conscious mind is where we think thoughts on a conscious level, okay? So you walk past a nice restaurant in the street and you smell something and say, geez, that smells pretty good. I might try out there for dinner this evening, okay? That's a conscious thought. It's not automatic. You don't just find yourself sitting there and saying, how did I get here surrounded by a pizza, a carbonara, and a side of garlic bread, okay? That's subconscious, right? Our conscious is where we actually think a thought. Now, our conscious mind, okay, is where we take information in every single day, and we have been doing so from the day we were born right up to the current day right now. Okay, so we hear, see, taste, touch, and smell. We've got 5 senses where we take information in every single day from the day we were born right up to the current day. And what those senses are taking in is it's taking in information. Okay, that's what we would consciously call it, but it's just taking in energy, right? It's information that moves into our senses, and we think a thought. And we change that energy into a positive or a negative, okay? So we make the energy either positive or negative based on the meaning that we give that information that we take in. Now, our conscious mind equates to just 4% of our daily actions. Now, when we think a thought, energy is always moving. It's never static, okay? Emotions are just energy and motion. So when that energy is ever moving, a lot of that information, it moves from our conscious mind where we think a thought, and it moves into our subconscious mind where we give meaning to those thoughts. So your subconscious mind is where we hold beliefs. It equates to 96% of our actions and our behaviors every single day based off our feelings, okay? Now, your subconscious programming, that starts at a very, very, very young age. Now, the beliefs that you might have around money, for example, the client who said, I always feel that I'm chasing money. I felt like that myself, right? I had terrible, terrible beliefs around money, but all stemmed from childhood. You know, we moved on from Northern Ireland at the click of a fingers, very, very short notice. When we moved on, so we had nowhere to live. And in a period of 3.5 years, we lived in 9 different locations. Like, my parents worked 2 jobs. They worked extremely hard to put food on the table. But as a result of watching your parents, you know, work extremely hard, you become conditioned to believe that money is scarce. It's extremely hard to earn money, and money is something that we will never have, right? They were a lot of the beliefs that I held. And I know whenever I first started operating my business, anytime I felt that I was earning money, I was becoming a success, I felt very uncomfortable. And naturally enough, the money just started to disappear, okay? And whenever I say disappear, it's because I was giving it away. The birthday cards that I would give people would become a little bit chunkier. The things that I would spend money on would be a little bit more erratic and reckless. And the reason being is because I didn't feel comfortable having money. I didn't consciously wake up in the morning and say, I'm not comfortable having money, what can I spend it on today? But this is subconscious programming based on the beliefs I had around money. So a lot of my beliefs around money where money is bad. And, you know, if you have money, it means that you're a bad person, okay? Money is something that only rich or snobby people have access to. These are beliefs that I had. So naturally, anytime whenever more money came my way, above what I was typically used to earning or felt comfortable earning, I would naturally find a way to get rid of that money. This is where so many business owners operate from. That's 96% of your actions and your feelings every single day. It's subconscious. You know, I've worked with people and they have had 10 times in the bank In the past number of years, they never had it at any other stage of their life. But still, when it comes to them to maybe going in and buying themselves a new t-shirt or treating their kids to a meal out on a Saturday night, something in the back of their mind worries, you know, where they're kind of accumulating the price on the menu, or they're looking at the price tag on the t-shirt and they're saying, oh Jesus, I can't really afford that, and then they let it out the door. Even though they have more than enough to afford it, it's not about the money. It's the beliefs, it's the story that's driving those behaviors, okay? And like I said, that energy is ever moving. So 96% of our actions every single day are subconscious. That's because that information, or our subconscious mind, it's feeding information to our physical body every single day. So we take actions, and for every action, there's a result, okay? Let's look at this a different way. Let's draw the stick man. I am absolutely terrible at drawing the stick man, but we'll give it a go anyway, okay? Let's say, for example, right, your thoughts right now around money are negative, okay? That you have negative thoughts around money. That is information that is moving the body. When we think a thought, right, that information, it's ever moving, okay? So I think a thought here, and that information is sent down to the physical body, and I feel symptoms. So when my client says, Martin, I feel like I'm always chasing money, I clam up, is what he said. So he physically clams up. His body actually tightens. He starts to feel tension in his shoulder, starts to feel tension in his jaw, starts to feel overwhelming amounts of pressure and stress. And now he's acting from that place. So if you think of what are the actions from a place like that, it's like the guy who checked his bank account numerous times a day. He wasn't taking the actions of someone who's going to double his income in the next week. He wasn't taking the actions of someone who's going to make 10 sales in the next month, okay? He was taking the actions of a person that's operating from fear and scarcity. Now, how do we operate from fear or scarcity? Because, guys, our mind, okay, if we look at what our state of mind is our mind and body working together in unison. So we have negative thoughts about money. We tell ourselves, I'm always chasing money. Money is scarce. Money is something I don't have. I'm not going to have enough money to have a good Christmas. We tell ourselves all of these things. That information is passed down to the physical body, as I've drawn here. The body accepts that information and gives it a symptom, okay, a symptom such as clamming up, a symptom such as stress, pressure, overwhelm. And that information is sent back up. And this is a loop that keeps repeating over and over again. That is what we call conditioning, okay? So we have physically conditioned our state of mind to be scarce. Our mind and body is working in unison to keep us in a scarce state. And we have to shift that, okay? And one of the first areas that we have to address, all right, and this is something that we work on beyond what I'm going to talk you through the next 4 steps that we can start to take, okay? But this is something that you can address right now today after watching this masterclass, and it's your attitude towards money. You know, every one of us, we have an attitude towards everything in our life. You have an attitude towards your health. You've got an attitude towards your relationships. You've got an attitude towards love, your career. You've got an attitude towards money. And our attitude is 3 things. It's 3 things, okay, that pretty much, again, represents how we feel about anything in our life, okay? So we go back to that stick man, all right? Our attitude is 3 things, okay? It's number 1, it's our thoughts, okay? So it's the thoughts that we have on a day-to-day basis, okay? Number 2 is it's our physical feelings. Okay, so it's the physical feelings that we have on a day-to-day basis within our physical body, okay? So we feel feelings within our physical body. You know, if you have a great attitude towards your partner, let's say, you know, your husband, you've got a great attitude towards your wife, and every time you see your wife, you're going to think certain thoughts, and that's going to create certain feelings within your body. And that information, okay, is going to be sent right down to your physical body, and your adrenal glands is going to release all sorts of sex hormones, and naturally you're going to feel in a certain state. Guess what? You're probably going to take certain actions. That's an attitude, okay? That's an attitude. If you're a woman and you say, Jesus, my husband can't keep his hands off me, he's got a great attitude towards you. If you enjoy it, you've got a great attitude towards him. It's the very same with money. Our thoughts, our feelings, and the actions that we take as a result of that every single day. That is what our attitude is made up of. Now, what I want you to look at today, okay, is right now in this specific moment, what is your attitude towards money? How do you think about money? When you think about money, does it make you feel worried? Does it make you feel stressed? Do you feel a little bit under pressure? Is it negative? So are your thoughts towards money intrusive and negative and consistently hold you back? How do you feel? How do you feel right now about the money that you have today? Because if you feel that the money that you have today is not enough and it's not good enough, then guess what? You're not going to attract more in the future. You have to feel good about what it is that you have today. You have to change your state around it. You know, the client who said that, you know, Martin, I feel that money, I'm always chasing money. I'm always chasing money, okay? He was overlooking the money he actually had today. We did a session where we reprogrammed his subconscious mind around his beliefs around money. By the end of that session, you know what he said to me coming off that call? He said, money chases me. And I love that. I says, you know what, that's an affirmation you're going to drive with for the next 30 days. And he started to see big changes within his business over those 30 days. Because he left that session, I said, how do you feel? He said, now I feel that money's chasing me. And I'm excited to see the opportunities that come up in my life. Guys, opportunity is everywhere. But when you're tuned into the right energy where your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions are aligned, you can assume that good things are going to come your way, okay? You know, just last week I spoke at an event. And after that event, I write my goals all the time. And I had this strong belief that incredible things are going to come my way. And within a few days, all right, you know, I'm in a position where I'm being signed up by the Front Row Speaking Agency. You know, it's one of Europe's leading speaking agencies, one of the leading speaking agencies in the world, okay? They're going to be representing me moving forward for public speaking events and corporate events and all of these different things, which is amazing because that's something that I love to do. It's a great opportunity for me. But I aligned myself with that opportunity by my thoughts, my feelings, my actions. Whenever I look for opportunities like that, my thoughts, feelings, and actions, they can't be scarce. I have to be open to receiving. I'm here for it. Okay, so as I walk towards the goal is walking towards me. It's the very same with your thoughts, your feelings, your actions towards money. Okay, every single one of us have a frequency. If you're on the frequency of scarce FM, okay, but you want to have this abundant lifestyle, it's a complete mismatch. If I say to you, what's on Abundant FM, you're like, I can't hear because I'm on Scarce FM. It's impossible to listen to two radio stations at once from the same radio. Every single one of us have only got one radio and we need to tune into one or the other. And we need to shift our thoughts, our feelings and actions. And it's that attitude, and it's those three things in particular, need to become aligned with exactly what it is that you want. So what is it that you want? Like, are you actually clear on how much you want to earn each week, how much you want to earn each month, how much you want to earn each year? Are you clear on what's the life you want to live whenever you have that money? Because money is energy, and energy likes to move. Energy likes to be in circulation all of the time. And if you're actually not clear on what it is that you want to do, money doesn't want to move towards you. Okay, so we get our clients very, very clear on this stuff. What do you want to do? What's the exciting things that you want to do with your life whenever you earn more money? If you just say, oh, I just want to save it up, I just want to stick it all in the bank and hoard it and retire with millions in the bank, okay? Money probably doesn't really want to move your direction. You're probably going to stay stuck in a scarce mindset because there's not enough motives or drives to get you to shift this mentality and move towards the things that you want. Now, how can we start to do that, okay? Let's look at changing your state of mind. Okay, so we use a combination of RTT, Rapid Transformation Therapy, and performance coaching to help people to make big shifts to their subconscious programming. So remember, your subconscious programming controls 96% of your actions and your behaviors every single day. It's automatic. You get into the car, you drive to work in the morning. It's just, you've done it so many times, you don't even have to think about it. It just becomes automatic to you. So much of our behaviors around money are the very same. Our spending behaviors, most of those behaviors are automatic, okay? If you walk in, you do the weekly shopping, and the first thing that you do is you go for the organic, the most expensive foods in the shelves, that's become an automatic programming that's built into your subconscious mind. It's something you've probably been doing for a very, very long period of time, and you feel comfortable doing it because you have enough money and you feel abundant and you feel that you're deserving of eating good quality, healthy food. If you go in and you look for the things that are in the, you know, the last gasp shelf where there's 50% off because it's gone off today and it's a loaf of bread and it's starting to feel a little bit like a brick, but you're saying, look, that's all I can afford, that's all I'm deserving of, then it's the very same. That's the condition you're operating from. Most people would consistently do those things over and over again. You don't need to think about it. So when we help people to make these breakthroughs, there's a 4-step process. Number one is identifying. Okay, and by the way, this happens in one session. This is not a big dragged out process where it takes you 6 months to figure this stuff out. This is the beauty of the work that we do, okay? We're all about pushing people and driving people to achieve more. And you're watching this video because you want to earn more. And we can certainly help you to earn more because we can help you to align your mindset with the type of money that you want to earn in your life, okay? So number one is you identify. You identify exactly what it is that's holding you back. So we look at the root cause behaviors. We go back up and we look at this subconscious programming. So we look at exactly what is it, the beliefs that you hold about money, and what's the situation and circumstances that you've given meaning to that cause you to feel and act in the way that you do. And whenever we can identify that, okay, it allows us to map out exactly what we need to do moving forward. There's going to be certain times in your life where you've experienced things that you've given certain meaning to. So for me, I always felt that money was bad. I felt guilty for having money. There were certain events that I've experienced in my life that would give me a belief around that. There's certain things that small ears listen to whenever you're a child that you might hear being said or you might overhear being said, and you give a certain meaning to that. And that's what we look at then. We interpret. We interpret how are you actually seeing the world, okay? Seeing money in your world. Like, how does money look in your world? Because it looks different for every single person. You know, some people, they don't care if they go broke. They've got a belief that they'll earn it all back. For some people, they say, I need to have this in the bank to feel safe. Someone else might say, I need double that in my bank to feel safe. Someone else might say, I need triple that in my bank to feel safe. Every single person has got different conditioning and programming. We've studied this stuff upside down, inside out. You know, I've interviewed so many clients when we do sessions like this, and I always ask people around safety, what does safety with money look like to you? How much would you need to have in the bank to feel safe? And I get so much different numbers from here right up to here. Why? Because every single person interprets money completely different. Okay? Some people, they see money as a vehicle to engender good onto others and to live an amazing life. For other people, they see money as something that's always scarce and something they're never going to have. So we have to interpret that. When we can interpret, okay, how you're identifying, how you're associating with some of the things that you've experienced in your life, we can then help you to interrupt. So there's 13 tools, okay, that we can use to help someone. That's a funny looking tree. There's 13 tools that we can use to help someone to shatter and eliminate beliefs that are holding them back. So it's like a toxic belief. It's a negative belief that is holding you back, and it has to go. That belief will come into your life and it will serve a purpose in your life, okay? Every negative belief we have, it has a role, a function, a purpose, and an intention in our lives, okay? It might protect us, it might punish us, it keeps us safe, it does something for us, and typically from a positive nature. It would have came into your life whenever you needed it, okay? So for example, if you were, 9 years old and you lost money and you got in loads of trouble, right? Then it makes sense, okay, that if you become the type of person who hides money under the mattress, it's because you lost money whenever you're a child, you got loads of trouble, and your subconscious mind gives the meaning to that situation. Well, I never want to lose money again. So anytime I get money, I need to protect it. I need to keep it safe. I need to hide it somewhere where no one else can get it. Maybe you got money stolen from you. These are all beliefs that we have to interpret. Then we interrupt those patterns because they're holding you back. And when we interrupt the pattern, it's so important that when you let go of one belief system, you have to install another. And that's the last step, as we call it, installing, okay? So to install new beliefs, there's 13 rules of your mind. And one of the rules is your mind can't hold conflicting beliefs. So if you have a belief that, look, money is something that never comes to people like me, I'm always chasing money, then you can't have the belief that money chases me, right? It's one or the other. Your mind will always safeguard with one or the other. So for my client, whenever he had a belief that I'm always chasing money, it always feels that it just runs through my fingers. It always feels that anytime I earn money, something goes wrong. The car breaks down, the boiler breaks down, the fridge goes. Something happens in my life where any money that I have saved up, it just seems to disappear. That was a belief. When you operate from that energy, guys, believe it or not, the law of attraction will put into your reality situations that's going to take your money from you. Right? That's the way the law works. Why? Because we communicate in energy and it has no sympathy towards us. We attract what we are. So if you're operating from scarcity, you attract more. If you operate from abundance, you'll attract more from it. And for us, it's about installing those abundant belief systems into our clients. I have some notes here from a session that I actually did with a client yesterday. And some of the beliefs that we helped install was that money comes to me easily and effortlessly because I love what I do. It's a client who gives great service to people. So we have a belief that if he continues to give good service to people, then that's in the benefit of the world, that he is out there doing what he does best, doing what he loves, because he can impact, he can engender positive beliefs on so many people. He helps children, okay? So why would it not be in the benefit of the world to have someone who can help children with disabilities to have an empowering mindset around money. Because if he earns more money, he's going to be able to reinvest into education, he's going to be able to upskill, and he's going to be able to give better service to those children. He's probably going to be able to teach people how to do what he does, so now more children are going to be supported and helped over the coming years as well. So that's in the benefit of the universe. So that's a very, very strong belief. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly because I love what I do. Okay, money is attracted to me. The law of attraction will always put into my reality things I'm not even focused on. That's a belief that I put into his audio. Right? He doesn't even have to focus on where it's going to come from. It's going to come. He just needs to continue to turn up and serve from the heart every single day. Love what you're doing, serve from the heart, and you will be rewarded in so many ways. You'll get so many opportunities you won't even be able to keep up. It's like what I said about myself with the public speaking. That's a reward for service. Okay, it's opportunities that we struggle to keep up with because of the service that we give to others. These are important, powerful beliefs that have to be installed in every single person who wants to see more, wants to earn more. Most importantly, you want to earn your right, you want to earn your own money. It's so important that you have these positive beliefs, okay? Now, what we're running at the moment, okay, it's the first time we've ever done this. It's a 28-day reset. It helps people to let go of something in 2025, but embrace more in 2026. So right now we're coming up to the Christmas period and you've got two options. You can do 3 weeks with us before the Christmas break and 1 week after the Christmas break, or you can do 2 weeks before the Christmas break and 2 weeks after the Christmas break. But we're going to give you access to not just me, we're going to get access to both of us. You will have access to myself, you'll have access to Roseanne, you'll have access to all of our trainings, okay? Where we will do the deep work with you. You do a clarity session with me, get very, very clear on the goals that you want to set yourself, what you want to earn, the service that you want to give to that, what you want to be known for. We will get so clear on how 2026 is going to look for you that it will blow your mind, okay? You do some deep work with Roseanne where she'll help you to identify, interpret, interrupt, and install those new belief systems following this 4-step framework, okay? And like I said, you'll have access for an entire 4 weeks, okay? That's a one-time offer. It's the only time we're ever going to run a 28-day reset offer. But we see a pattern over and over again at this time of year with business owners, and we don't want you to feel in a position where you're going into the Christmas period, you feel lost, you feel that you're going backwards, and you feel that 2026 is just going to be a copy and paste of 2025. Okay, all you have to do is message me after watching this video with the word interested. If you message me with the word interested, I'll send you over all of the information, okay, so you know exactly what the 28-day reset is about, and I'll also give you some information on other programs that we run as well, okay? If you're not interested in 28-day reset, okay, I've got an audio. It's completely free, and all you have to do is message me the word audio, and I can send you over that audio, okay? And I can send you over the audio when 20 people message me, whether they're interested or audio, then I'm going to record that audio. And it's going to be an audio that's going to start to recondition your mind. It's one of the things that we use in the install process, which is step 4. Is audio, or it's called neuroplasticity. It reshapes the way you think about yourself, where you're impressing this new self-image on yourself. Okay, so I hope that was insightful. I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Have an amazing Christmas, and I will chat to you very, very soon.